So this has been advice that we've been told all our lives. Go to university and study very hard. Study for 4 years to get a great degree so that you can land a good, stable job. And that's exactly what you did. You studied hard, you got pretty good grades, and you walked into the first day of your office, the first day of your work, with a huge sense of security. In these uncertain times, sure, you've heard stories of how companies worldwide are laying off thousands, but you thought to yourself, that's a story that's happening far, far away from me. Even as you heard news of Malaysians being laid off, starting this year's January, you felt safe. You thought that this was something that wouldn't affect you and this was something for other people. But then came April, you walked into your office just like any other day and you were handed a letter that says that you are being laid off, that you are no longer needed. If you're watching this because this is something that happened this morning or recently, I want you to know that you're not alone. This has happened to more than 28,000 Malaysians this year. So why exactly is this happening? The stability of the Malaysian job market is facing one of its most significant tests this quarter, which is the second quarter of 2026. While we saw a relatively steady decline in layoffs during the first few months, the sheer volume now is staggering. According to the data from Percaso's Employment Insurance System, the EIS, we started 2026 with 10,700 layoffs in January, followed by 7,500 in February and 5,900 in March. Now in April, while the pace is technically slowing down with 4,708 reported in just the first 16 days, the impact is still massive. It signals a heavy downward momentum heading into Q2. To put that 28,800 into perspective, you don't have to look far. Just look into the Kuala Lumpur skyline. Look at that landmark like Menara TM in Bangsar. It's a massive building built to house roughly 5,000 to 6,000 workers. Now imagine 5 of those buildings standing side by side. The number of Malaysians who have been laid off or who has lost their jobs since January could fill 5 of those entire skyscrapers. Imagine every single floor of 5 buildings suddenly going dark, every desk empty, every office locked. That is the scale of what we're dealing with today. An entire corporate district's worth of people suddenly left without a paycheck. So the reason to your retrenchment or whatever that's happening right now, it's not a secret mystery. We're currently caught in a perfect storm driven by 2 main pillars. First, since late February, the Strait of Hormuz, the world's most critical energy choke point, has been largely blocked. This narrow waterway handles roughly 20% of the world's LNG and a quarter of global seaborne oil. For Malaysians, this is a double-edged sword. While we are an energy producer, the blockade has sent Brent crude surpassing $108 per barrel, with peaks hitting $126 in March. Before this conflict, oil was trading at a manageable rate of around $72 US, and that is nearly 50% increase in global energy cost. When a factory in Shah Alam sees their energy bill double, they don't just raise prices, they look at their headcount. And that is where those 28,800 layoffs is happening. It's happening in manufacturing, in logistics, and retail. That's where they're coming from. But that's not all. There's a second wave that's coming in from behind. That's AI and automation. As the New Straits Times recently warned, Malaysia is no longer immune to AI-led job cuts. Companies aren't just cutting staff to save money, they are re-optimizing their entire operations around AI. In the past, companies would just wait for things to recover over time. In 2026, with the abundance of AI tools and platforms and information in the market today, they are using this crisis as a reason and an opportunity to explore and to pull the trigger on automation tools. It's a double hit. The energy crisis makes human labor expensive and AI advancements make digital labor cheap. It's becoming purely mathematical. It's just math here. AI is now moving into cognitive tasks, writing reports, analyzing data, legal research, the very things that you went to university for. But let's talk about the parts that don't make it into the news. Let's talk about the day after you got retrenched. You've done everything right, you hit your KPIs, you worked your late nights, you were a team player. The psychological toll that you faced when you found out you were going to be laid off, that's real. Honestly, I would understand if it triggers a spiral of self-questioning. Was I not good enough? Was my degree the right one? Was it a waste of time? Your confidence certainly takes a hit, and your sense of identity is gone. Now your 9 to 5 is replaced by a soul-crushing cycle of job portals, refreshing screens, waiting for replies, and being ghosted by recruiters. And here's the hard truth that you need to face. If your industry was hit by the energy crisis or squeezed by inflation, looking for the exact same role in a different company is not a strategy that you can use. It puts you back in the same vulnerable position all over again. Do you really want to go back into a position where you're at the mercy of the next oil spike or the next crisis or the next round of operational downsizing or operational optimization, as some companies would call it? The solution here isn't just finding another job. The solution has to be changing the game that you were playing to begin with. AI isn't a monster that eats jobs. The advancement of tech isn't a scary monster out here to just take jobs away from you. It has been around for hundreds of years and humans have been adapting to it all these years. It's a tool that requires a new type of worker to build, to manage, and to direct it. If your degree gave you the foundation and you realize that you can't escape tech anyways in your life right now, with the industry moving so quickly today, then coding and AI literacy is literally the best upgrades that you need right now to build a foundation that is future-proof. Think about it. While thousands are applying for jobs that are being automated away, there is a massive shortage of people who actually understand how tech and automation works. And this is why we are seeing the rise of the AI software engineer. In 2026, do you know what the most valuable skill is? It's not just about knowing your industry. It's not just about understanding what you've learned in university. All that, you don't matter anymore, right? It's about knowing how to work in this new landscape where tech and your industry combines. Whether you're in finance, marketing, manufacturing, your skills can't be a standalone relic of a few years ago. You need to align yourself with the transformational goals that companies are looking to move forward to. Instead of applying for a role that's going to end up being layoff, why not build yourself for the future? When you do that, you stop being a cost to be cut and you become an asset that helps the company scale. So I understand this probably isn't the first video you're watching regarding upskilling and the layoffs that's happening right now in the market. But if you take one thing away from this video, it's that it's ripe time for you to upskill yourself and ascend into a better role. You no longer want to be that guy who's replaced at the first sign of a crisis. You want to be in a role where you could constantly add value regardless of where the world is moving, and that's going to be in tech. Whether it's AI or automation or software engineering, you want to be in a role where you get to build the future. You get to add value to the company that you're with. So if you want to move from being replaceable to being the person who builds the future, you need a roadmap. But if you don't know where to start, learning from tutorials probably wouldn't work out that well. Going to university again would be a waste of time and money. For what I do for my job, I get to speak with top CTOs and CEOs across the industry. I get to work with people trying to break into tech every single day. And the one thing that I know people who are like you in your position will need is that roadmap, and that's something that I've prepared. This roadmap helps you become a proficient software engineer on your own pace without going to universities or paying for overpriced bootcamps. And we start you off with understanding proper programming fundamentals in the AI era, because we don't want you to just be a vibe coder who doesn't understand whatever he's writing, who's just tabbing away at whatever cursor gives you. Instead, we're gonna help you go all the way from not knowing a single line of code to understanding just what you need in terms of the programming fundamentals to building your full stack applications and landing a job in tech. If you want to know where to get started, it's right here. It's completely free, so just click on it and you're good to go. And if you're somebody who's struggling in this trying times, this video may interest you.